Breaking news to start your 11 minutes of nonstop news here at 5 o'clock.
A SWAT situation in central Toledo coming to an end just about 40 minutes ago. Our Laura Sandlin is live on the scene. Laura, this lasted for hours this morning.
Yes, Kaylee, Tim, it did. Not too long ago, there was just a large response from both police and SWAT this morning outside of a home on the corner of Detroit and Delaware. We're going to go ahead and take you now to some footage that was taken earlier this morning to show you exactly what was going on when we first arrived. Now, according to police, they arrived around 2:30 to an original call of a burglary, only to find a man who had multiple warrants for his arrest due to felonies and other misdemeanors. They say the man then barricaded himself and refused to come out of his home, and after an hour the decision was made to fire tear gas into the home where the man was by himself. The man had sustained minor injuries prior to the police arriving, and upon firing the tear gas he gave up and was arrested. Now police say that he is currently being treated at the hospital where he will then be transported to jail following recovery. Now we'll continue to update you on air and online as we learn more about this situation, but for now, reporting live, Laura Sandlin for WTOL 11.
Laura, thank you so much. We continue now with a look at your forecast and a check of those roads with meteorologist Ryan Weekman and Stephen Jackson.
Let's get over to Ryan first. Ryan, we could see some showers this morning in some places.
Absolutely, and that rain's only going to become more widespread as we head into the afternoon hours for today. It's a warm, muggy setting, and I do expect some of those showers are going to pop back up for us right now. Looking at radar, most of those isolated showers are concentrated kind of south and east of Toledo from Sandusky, Tiffin over towards Findlay. That rain is moving towards Toledo though, so it's already a warm, muggy setting, and we've got more showers as you can see right there. 62 right now in Toledo, 62 in Findlay. It is a warm morning, but the high is going to climb at a slow rate today. Some scattered showers on and off, so do expect a bit of a wet setting for your Tuesday. I've got more rain and then some heat ahead this week. In fact, maybe the hottest day of the year so far before we get to the weekend. I'll show you when to expect that on your Thursday forecast coming up. Right now, let's get to Steve with our traffic tracker.
Out the door this morning, getting a look at our road. So crashes, construction, road conditions, giving you the green light when it comes to those. Things are looking good overall this morning. Let's jump right into getting a live look at our roadway. 75 right at US 20, US 23. As you can tell this morning, those vehicles moving through the area this morning. No major congestion out there to impact you. BG to downtown traffic moving at about 72 miles per hour. That's a look at your Gallon Tackus and Boys and All traffic tracker.
People living along Arlington Avenue in South Toledo are demanding answers this morning, wondering when the sinkholes along the street there will be fixed and safety surrounding the work needed to be done. The city says it plans to completely reconstruct Arlington next year, but other work needs to get done first. That includes water and sanitary sewer work, which is set to be done by the end of this year. Then road construction will start next year.
The first thing we have to do is get a shaft built and get pumps in the ground to start bypass pumping around the sewer since it's blocked, so we can get a camera down to determine what is wrong with the sewer.
People also brought up concerns about traffic in the area with cars and semis cutting through side streets. City leaders say they are looking into ways to cut that down.
Frustrations hit a boiling point at the Toledo Air Show over the weekend, with some people telling us they sat in traffic for hours trying to park just to turn around and go home. But organizers say they are now working to explore enhancement for future shows. Seeing the miles-long backup over the weekend, Scott Burns jumped into action. He owns a sign company, so his team quickly printed one, giving guests another option.
I've seen miles and miles of traffic and they were not moving. They were gridlocked. So I decided to open up my parking lot and then the parking lot next door, and we packed in like almost 200 cars.
In a statement, the Toledo Air Show said in part the turnout on Saturday far exceeded expectations. With such an exceptional turnout, we recognize that some guests experienced traffic delays and parking challenges. We understand how frustrating that can be and want to express our genuine appreciation for your patience and perseverance. The safety and comfort of our guests are always top priorities.
A constitutional amendment banning property taxes is moving forward, according to the Ohio Attorney General's office. Tomorrow, a state board chaired by Secretary of State Frank LaRose will meet to determine whether it will be one or multiple constitutional amendments. At that point, the group pushing the amendment could start collecting signatures to get it on the ballot. Perrysburg Township is looking ahead to the November election, putting two levies on the ballot. One is a $3 million renewal levy. The other is for new money, a $4.9 million levy over 5 years, meant to fund the township's police department. Township trustees tell us the police budget is currently being supplemented by the township's general fund, and they say that is not sustainable.
What we really just want to make sure that we're providing the same service that our residents are accustomed to receiving from us. And to do that, we really need to be able to continue to grow as the township grows.
Trustees say these levies were not on the ballot last week in the primary election because they wanted to be on the ballot during an election with a higher expected turnout.
Toledo and Harold Harris is continuing his run to be Toledo's next mayor, despite not being picked by voters in the primary last week. Harris announced his write-in campaign yesterday. He says he's doing this for the people, not politics, continuing his push to make Toledo as safe as Perrysburg, Rossford, Sylvania, Maumee, and Oregon.
I don't see daily shootings in those cities, and we're surrounded by those cities. So it's not normal. We need to change that.
One of the candidates who will be on the ballot in November, Roberto Torres, says he's not concerned if Harris stays in the race because it could keep voters engaged.
It's still a long season, campaign season, so I'm very optimistic that we'll get support.
We did reach out to Mayor Wade Kapsakavich as well, who will be on the ballot as the incumbent, who tells us he has no comment at this time.
Some young artists here in our area are getting newfound support this morning. The Lucas County Commissioners approved an agreement yesterday between Lucas County Job and Family Services and the Arts Commission of Greater Toledo for the Young Artists at Work program. This would take place over the summer, giving kids something to do while not in school and letting them get creative.
It's a great opportunity for them to be able to be exposed and be able to be out there and be able to really go in a little bit more depth of things that they really care about.
This program will also provide a mentorship opportunity to work directly with the kids involved.
Blissfield Elementary's principal, assistant principal, and a teacher are probably all cleaned up by now.
This after the students turned them into human ice cream sundaes yesterday. What a fun event. Students got to do this as a way to recognize that the school raised a large amount of money during the annual Royal Walk fundraiser put on by the parent-teacher organization. Held every year, they were raising money for the Koppelman Environmental Life Lab this year. And all the donations came from family, friends, and the community.
It is one of the best parts about living in this small, fantastic community is having everybody come together with a cause, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this wonderful community.
Those at the school say they raised more than $20,000 more than ever before.
All right, we are keeping a close eye on the radar this morning as some rain is possible.
Let's get to Ryan with his forecast to check on the timing of that, Ryan.
Yeah, looks like we could see some showers here depending on where you live, even within the next few hours, or maybe you'll have to wait till a little bit later on for today. We got a sprawling system across the Great Lakes moving in. This is a familiar scene this spring. Rain showers beginning to show back up after some downpours last night. Yeah, more rain starting to move back in. It's all because of this area of low pressure. These pop-up showers will be something that we'll be contending with, especially during the afternoon hours for today. Lots of moisture with this system. It's getting pulled off of the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf. So this system is going to be one that not only is going to provide the chance for some rain showers. As you step outside this morning, it might be one of your first mornings of the year where you say, it feels kind of humid. outside. Our muggy meter for the first time this warm season is out, and it shows compared to later in the summer, it's still a little on the low end of things, but I think you'll agree it's got a little bit of that summer feeling as you go outside this morning. There's your scattered showers this morning. I think we'll see a renewed round of pop-up downpours late this afternoon and this evening. So thinking about if the kids have a baseball game or something scheduled for later on today, that's going to be a little tough to get in because of the pop-up showers and downpours. Things settle down overnight, but more of the same tomorrow. Maybe a little more sunshine for your Wednesday, but it will come with some more of those pop-up showers and downpours. Rainfall totals, if you get underneath one of those downpours, over an inch of rain will be possible. I still haven't talked about that warmest day of the year so far in my 10-day forecast. We're going to do that coming up next. Tim, you've got some important news too.
Yeah, Ryan, we are close to wrapping up our Super Fitness Weight Loss Challenge, but there was one final thing the challengers had to do before tonight's finale.
All right, so we get past the showers of today, the downpours potentially for tomorrow, and then here comes the big time heat for Thursday. I've really ramped up temperatures. Area of low pressure coming out of the Rockies is going to grab the warmest air of the year so far from the desert Southwest. I think this pushes highs into the upper 80s by Thursday afternoon with a pretty good southwest wind. Not only that, but it also could spark off some more of these thunderstorms. This would be our only round where I think we could see some strong or severe storms. This would be late Thursday night into very early Friday morning. So that'll be something that we obviously keep a close eye on. Look at this high temperature. I've bumped it up to 88 degrees on Thursday, 85 for Friday. It's the first time this year we're within a couple of degrees of potentially 90, but don't worry, it cools down a little bit by the weekend if that's too much heat too quick this year. 70s and dry for Saturday and Sunday. Let's turn things back over to Steve right now for our traffic tracker.
Let's get a live look at our roadways this morning. So as you can see our map, a lot of green. Things are moving in a really good way this morning. No major problems out there to report. Taking a look at some lane restrictions. C-Corp between Lasky and Alexis. We'll see these restrictions in place until July 12th. Also checking in on those drive times for you this morning. You can see throughout our area you're on time. That's a look at your Gallon, Atkinson, Boys and All traffic tracker.
The day has finally come. Today is the finale for our Super Fitness Weight Loss Challenge.
But before we find out who this year's winner is, challenge host Kelly Hyde-Brader put the challengers through the ropes. Check it out.
Hey everyone, it's time for the Super Fitness Triathlon! Wow. Never done before. The top 5 here at Super Fitness, they are biking, they are running, and they are swimming in the pool. And we are ready to go. I have Ron Kegley in the top 5. We have Bo Petaway in the top 5. Danielle Shagola in the top 5. And Robert Frederick in the top 5. One more, Deb Navarre, and she's already on the bike. Ready, set, go! So our top 5 challengers ride the bike first, as far as they can go for 15 minutes. Then there's a 3-minute break. The second station in our Super Fitness Triathlon, running 15 minutes around the track. And true triathlon style, we dump them in the water for the last leg, walking 15 minutes. Way to go, challengers! Woo! Yeah! We are talking the very first Super Fitness weight loss triathlon, and they did it! This is our top 5. Way to go, everyone. We are so proud of you. And so who is our winner today? We can't give you any scores because you will find out who the champion is of our Super Fitness Weight Loss Season 18 on our finale on Tuesday. Way to go, everybody!
And they've been working hard and getting them in the pool this time.
Yeah, all the challenges that Kelly and the whole team comes up with is pretty interesting. They do something different every year, so.
All right, I like the pool part of it. Kind of changes the game a little bit. So once again, as Kelly mentioned, the winner will be announced tonight.
We will have more starting at 4 tonight on WTOL 11 News at 4.
A new local nonprofit kicked off this initiative earlier this month, and I've got details on why it's a big deal and how your team can get involved coming up at 5:30.
There is another chance today to reserve your ticket for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway.
The $650,000 home is in the Coventry Point subdivision in Perrysburg off Fort Meigs Road. With that ticket, you have a chance to win the house, but you also could win a 2025 Honda Civic LX from Jim White Honda. You can either call the phone number on your screen right now or scan the QR code to reserve your ticket.
All money raised goes to support the life-saving care at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, founded by Toledo's own Danny Thomas.
All right, 5:21 on this Tuesday morning. What we're tracking for today, get those kids ready with a rain jacket for today. It's the only type of jacket you'll need because it is warm and muggy outside. We've got everybody on time, green on our school delay hotspot map. More of those showers. I say you might want to keep a close eye on radar. Don't forget that WTOL 11 weather app. Scan that camera app on your phone or tablet right now. You'll get free access to that, which we personally update right here in the WTOL 11 Weather Center. We've got rain from Findlay, Tiffin, Fremont, Sandusky. More of these scattered showers are moving in. So that's why we think that the rain's not done after last night. Now, we'll definitely have more showers for today. Some wet weather for the kids. Most of the day is going to be spent in the 60s. It's going to feel a little warmer than you might think, though, because of how muggy that it is. Got to get a quick shout out this morning. Yesterday, got to spend some time down at Penta, so we enjoyed that for you. Say hi to the students that are at the job training class there, and promised we'd give a shout out this morning. So hey there, and well, we'll update that photo down there. That's from the last school visit down at Fayette, so we'll get that in. Steve, come on in here. That's the latest on our forecast here. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you as well. Look like you had someone competing with you height-wise as well.
There were a couple of those kids that clearly ate their Wheaties. So yeah, they were definitely up there.
For sure. Like to see that. Good. Glad it was a good time. Here's a live look this morning at a roadway. So no crashes out there to report on this Tuesday morning, which is great news. Calling around town, nothing to impact that drive. 75 right at Diddy Avenue. You can see vehicles moving just fine, helping you stretch your dollar as well. You'll pay $3.19 in Perrysburg at the Speedway, on Dixie Highway and William Street, at the BP in Rossford, on Crossroads Parkway and State Route 795. You'll pay $2.92, $2.87 in Oregon at the Shell Station on Navarre Stadium, and at the Kroger store in Sylvania, you'll pay $2.71. That's a look at your Gallons, Hackets, and Boys and All traffic tracker.
The federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs is officially underway, with the prosecution and defense giving their opening statements. Combs is accused of running a criminal enterprise since at least 2004, where prosecutors say he abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires. In opening statements, Combs' attorney acknowledged his fault, but says the prosecutors are trying to turn sexual relations between consenting adults into their criminal case and are encouraging jurors to approach it with an open mind.
Neither side is looking for the perfect juror. You want a juror that's willing to understand and not let their life experiences pollute what they need to do.
Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura is expected to testify during the trial. Prosecutors allege Combs sexually exploited and brutally beat her for years. Last year, CNN released graphic hotel footage of the two from 2016. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him. We are getting a first look this morning at the mugshot of 20-year-old Phoenix Inker. He's the man accused of opening fire on the campus of Florida State University last month, killing 2 and hurting 6 others. After being booked, Inker was taken to another detention facility ahead of his appearance in court.
An investigation by Toledo police continues this morning after a DoorDash delivery driver says they were robbed on the job. The driver, who asked to remain anonymous, was going to deliver an order to a house on Grelin Drive. They first noticed the customer's phone number was invalid, and when attempting to drop off the order and get paid, the driver says a robber came from the side of the house, pointing a gun at them and demanding their wallet and the order itself.
Can't believe it. You know, you're just doing a little service and somebody just takes away that service. It makes you think twice about certain things nowadays.
The driver was not hurt in the incident, but says they aren't sure if they'll return to the job and is now urging drivers to be careful no matter what, saying material things aren't worth your life. 25-year-old Kayla Bishop is expected in court later this morning. The St. Louis, Missouri woman is accused of hurting an off-duty police officer and stealing from the Franklin Park Mall. According to police and court documents, Bishop stole items from JCPenney on Saturday. Employees told an off-duty officer working security at the mall. That officer then found Bishop getting into a car and tried to stop her, but said that Bishop drove off, injuring his hand. She is facing several charges this morning, including assault on a peace officer.
Oregon is tightening its laws on peddling and soliciting, with City Council passing an ordinance updating the code. The new rules get rid of exceptions for who can peddle, solicit, or canvass in Oregon. Plus, it eliminates registration certificates. Violators could face up to a $750 fine and possible jail time.
Not only did we have the residents complain about people coming to their door, and it seemed like they were deceived by a lot of people, when they would come in for the permit process, we'd run into problems with them arguing, which it was very problematic all across the board.
Exemptions include selling things like baked goods or dairy. Groups younger than 18 years old, like Girl Scouts and charity organizations that register with the city.
A terrifying story to tell you about out of New Mexico this morning. 2 kids, just 7 and 9, involved in a standoff with police, and it was all caught on camera. That's next in your 11 minutes of nonstop news at 5:30.
11 minutes of nonstop news here at 5:30, starting with breaking news.
A man arrested after an hours-long standoff with police on Delaware Avenue, and that's where we find our Laura Sandlin live this morning. So, Laura, the scene looks pretty clear there right now. That was not the case just about an hour ago.
Yes, Tim, Kaylee, it might not look like much right now, but just about an hour ago, this area was surrounded with police and SWAT at this home right behind me, just off of Lawrence and Detroit Avenue. Now we're going to go ahead and take you to some footage that was taken earlier this morning to show you what the scene originally looked like when we first arrived. Now, according to police, when they first arrived this morning around 2:30, they arrived to an original call of a burglary. Now, when they arrived, they did find a man who had multiple warrants for his arrest due to other felonies and misdemeanors. They said that the man then barricaded himself in the home and refused to come out. After about an hour, the decision was made to fire tear gas into the home where the man was by himself. The man had sustained minor injuries prior to police arriving, and upon firing the tear gas, police say that he gave up and was then arrested. Now, police say that he is currently being treated at the hospital, where following his recovery, he will be then transported to the jail. We're going to be continuing to update you on air and online about this situation as we continue to learn more about it. But for now, reporting live, Laura Sandlin, WTOL 11.